Today is your future. This is a special program on Winnie, and in the studio today I've got a very special guest, Miss Winnie Nachivula. How are you, and welcome to Today is Your Future.
Thank you very much.
Winnie, you're a very interesting person. I call you from P to B, physiotherapy to business. Tell me your story. What made you to go into business?
Yeah, you're right by saying physiotherapy. Indeed, that is my professional career. But, all along I had this passion to do with food. So when I relocated to Zambia, that's where now it's like this dream was really made, came alive. When I went to Zambia, going around, our township and also the town center, I came across a lot of the way our foods was being sold. And by our food, I mean the Zambian foods, and being sold in very unhygienic conditions. But looking at the food itself, it was very fresh, nutritious, and to me that was really something I started thinking that no, something ought to be done about this.
Winnie just said she was looking and taking note of what's happening at the market, and I suppose it's Soweto market and many other places. We say that opportunities are found within a set of problems. If you see a problem, I think that's a very good place to gauge whether there's a business opportunity or not. So what opportunity did you see when you saw food on the floor, on the markets? What came to your mind at that time?
For me, the opportunity was to take these foods and bring them to a market whereby people can buy in a very pleasant and hygienic conditions.
Pleasant and hygienic conditions. So you mean now you package them? Tell me what you do with the foods now.
I actually do the processing, packaging, and supplying of these foods.
Processing, packaging, and supplying.
Yes.
So you are three businesses in one, because processing is a business on its own, packaging is a business on its own, and supplying is a business on its own. This is what you've done. How did you think of this from physiotherapy to business? This is interesting. Let people hear this.
Yeah, because when I lived in the UK, actually, I had this desire and compassion, to bring some Zambian foods onto the UK whilst we were here. So I remember years back through Winnie, we used to order some foods, dry foods from Zambia.
The Kaliobwele.
The Kaliobwele,
You
yes.
still remember that one?
Yes, Kaliobwele was really one of the areas that I was really involved in when I was a member of the Winnie. Yes. And from that, we'd buy foods from Zambia and then sell them, amongst our friends here within the UK. So now going back there, it's like now I'm in the actual place,
environment where things happen.
Where things happen and where the food is grown and the food is readily available. But we have a very poor marketing strategy in Zambia. We find that most of these foods, be it seasonal or annual foods, a lot of it goes to waste.
No, tell me. And these are natural foods, not even processed, but out of season they just go to waste.
Yes.
And that's where you come in. Tell me now, how are you going to solve that?
Yeah, so looking at these foods, you find that they are not processed. So that's how, using the concept that we use in our own homes, home environment, in the kitchen, how do we keep this food fresh, and that's how I now started the actual processing.
Okay.
That is, for example, like katapa, which is cassava leaves.
Cassava leaves.
Yes. The way we prepare it within our own home environment and the way before we do the cooking. That's what I did, and then now how do we make it last? That's how now the actual packaging came in.
Okay.
And then it's frozen and then sold as a frozen product.
So you after you process, you freeze them, and then because you talk about where you're supplying which?
I'm supplying game stores, which is at Manda Hill. And then Pick and Pay, they have 4 stores within Lusaka and 2 in the Copper Belt. But the good thing is that, with all these shopping malls mushrooming within Zambia, So these companies, they're expanding.
They're expanding.
Yes.
So in other words, your products are now standardized. They must have a barcode, they're traceable, the standards in terms of expiry dates. How have you gone around that?
Yes, all that is in place to each and every product, because we have to abide by the Zambia Bureau of Standards.
Excellent.
And also to meet the consumer regulations that all this has to be put in place.
This is very important. As you're doing a business, look at the regulations, standards that the country of domicile where your business is, what they require, put them in place. Even when you step out to go look for investors, you've got that kind of foundation set. Now, you've come to the UK and you spoke at the conference, and I remember I wasn't the MC, Valerie Muzelenga was the MC, she called you out there. Shortly after you presented, there's so many questions. I think you are the one attracted many questions. What is it that you say that made people interested in you?
When I talked about the actual business that I'm doing, that is Nachivula Investments Limited, and like I mentioned that we are dealing with the foods. So I believe from my presentation, because I was talking reality, and I was talking of the experience, and I'm also talking about what the future holds. So really that brought out a lot of questions, and it was quite a good interaction with the people. The
questions came at a point when you said, I've got so many orders, and I think my challenge is to satisfy the market. Is that the place where we're going to talk about in terms of opportunities for investment?
Yes. The orders are there, but it's meeting the challenge. Because when you talk about these chain stores, their expectation is that the product should be on the shelf throughout the year, in and out of season. So really it's now meeting that demand.
Now, before we continue, some foods are seasonal in Zambia. Some of the things that you produce are seasonal in Zambia. How the chain stores expect you to satisfy all year round, every day?
That means that we have to have these foods in store, so that when we're supplying them from our own storage. So meaning there is, we have to really increase our supply, yes.
This is the point where, are you looking for people to come in as investors? Maybe I've got a check in my pocket already, so tell us.
Definitely. I'm really looking for people to come in and invest in the business, because Amakaya Wingi, that is my background where I've come from.
Yes.
It talks about the power of many.
People, yeah.
So being an individual and then doing this business, which is really has got very great potential.
That's right.
I find it it's the optimum time for me to come and say that to the Amakaya Wingi family and the people that are part and parcel of this.
Yes.
To come and invest into this business.
Here's an opportunity. Winnie, Nachivula Investment Limited, the director herself is right here in the UK talking to us, inviting people that she knows from the family of Amakaya Winnie to invest. Winnie, what sort of classes of investment are you looking for? Talk to me about the immediate needs.
The immediate need at the moment is, like I mentioned earlier on, the demand is huge out there. So to meet this demand, we're looking at inviting people to come and participate by doing order finance. Okay. Yes.
Order finance. Order finance, from what I understand, is you've got orders well pending, then people put money in there, you supply that, then you give them money back to the owner with the profit.
Yes.
Okay, and you've got a specific set percentage.
Yes.
For that. Will that be in the documentation somewhere?
Yes, that will be in the documentation that we'll give to whoever is interested, and when they make the application, that information will be passed on to them. Okay,
because you are here in the UK for a very short period of time. Yes. How have you structured this investment, and which companies are you working with in the UK?
Because I'll be based in Zambia, so here in the UK, there's Amakaya Wingi and CTAX, which is an accounting firm that will be responsible helping us with the technical aspect of it, so that everything is done according to the business.
That's right. And the CTAX accounting, Bilson Limited.
Yes.
They're financially regulated. That's the beauty of it. So you've been very wise to choose these two companies. Amakaya Wingi has a family which know you. CTAX, well regulated financially, because we're talking about investment. And this is very good. Now, what encouragement would you give to somebody who has a dream now? It seems as if it would never take off. if we look back where you started from and where you are now, it's different. When I visited Zambia and I found what you're doing is marvelous, and I was privileged to come and actually buy one of the products from the shop. Now tell somebody out there who's watching us, what should they do with their vision? It's just being born today for them. What should they do?
You know, when the Bible says, my people perish due to lack of knowledge, and when we receive a vision from God, I believe that, this vision, as God has put a vision in our hearts, in each and every one of us. But when that time comes, when you feel that, now this vision has to be walked through or to be run, I believe that's the time that you need to step out. Stepping out in faith, but surely God being the one that is guiding the vision, it should surely come to pass. To me, it came as a dream, and this dream, as I'm talking now, I can say that I'm walking it step by step, because really God is the one that is guiding it. So my encouragement is that, when you have a dream, a time will come when surely this dream will come to pass. But the only thing is, you should be somebody who's focused and really desire that, this dream which is God-given shall surely come to pass.
Thank you very much. And with that point, I'd just like to remind Winnie, because she's talked about when God calls you, gives a vision, because a lot of prophecies came on your life. I want you to watch this clip and see if you can remember it. Here's a clip.
Could you share what happened to you yesterday?
Yesterday, when the pastor was preaching, I would say just from the message itself, I was already connected in what he was sharing. So when the time came when he asked us to stand up and to be detached from whatever was holding us back, I saw myself, I was lying on the floor, and then I saw myself stand up. And as I stood up, but there was still a part of me that was still lying on the ground. But there were segments that were, as we kept on, declaring that, to arise, segments of me that were lying on the ground, were, they were coming to attach to me. Until I felt that now I was completely whole as I stood there. The next thing that I saw myself was that, I started running. In my running, I stretched out my arms. I'm sure some of you who saw me, my arms were just stretched out there for quite a long time. And then, as I stretched out my arms, the next thing that I saw was that, I felt like wings had been attached to my arms. Then I saw myself soaring up. I kept on going up, and as I was going up, I cried out to say that I'm free. I kept on soaring until I reached the highest mountain. And when I landed there, I stood. And when the bishop came to pray for me, I was facing that side. But when he laid hands on me, I turned 180 degrees and then I lay on the ground. And I saw myself lying prostrate on the mountaintop. And a voice saying that, be still and know that I am still.
Yes, that clip was in Coventry. Do you remember that time?
Yes, I remember it very, very well, yeah.
And can you relate to anything happened to you today? Because there you're growing wings and things are dropping off, and did you say what you said in there? And this is part of your wings. You're still rising.
Yes.
Thank you very much. On that note, thank you very much for watching. Today is your future. This is a very special program you watched on our YouTube channel, on the Makaya Wing website, and also back on the Sky TV not long from now. Thank you very much. Signing off, this is Dr. John Lukomona. Ciao.